designing a brand experience that attracts premium clients. My name is Connor and I'm the founder of CJ Studio, where we help businesses build an identity for growth through strategic design solutions. I have over 10 years working in brand design and strategy, and I founded CJ Studio to use my expertise and then give back to businesses who I work with. So, I've been talking through now a framework which I've developed around the route in attracting premium clients, but also creating that brand experience where businesses can relate to your services or your products in a way that's going to speak to that high echelon of value and equivalent to the price point as well. Because you can't have a high value price point or high quality product unless that whole conversion route is also speaking to the same high quality and the same premium value in itself as well. So, number one, brand identity and positioning. So your brand identity and your positioning of your business is crucial. The brand identity really speaks to your mission, your values, your ethos, but how you're positioning that within the market and within your current niche is critical in terms of how you're then received to the people you want to speak to. Okay, so, and this is what I'm going to talk you through right now is a little bit of a framework and a bit of a route in terms of how a customer is then interacting with your business and how that will look like. So let's start off with number one. The first point of contact. This will be either through Instagram, through your website, through a marketing channel, maybe a physical marketing product. How this then, that first point of contact, what does that speak to in terms of its value? Is the positioning, is the messaging, is the design, is that also speaking to the same quality and the same value of your services or your product in itself? Then the customer will form an impression. This impression will be, okay, do I then see the correlation in between what this business is then speaking to in terms of their services and then in terms of how they're positioning themselves as an overall as well. And then this will then lead to the conversion as well. So at this point, you'll see the customer going through the first point of contact, then they'll make an impression, and then either they'll then reach out to you and it'll be turned into a lead. And it's important here to keep the consistency, maintain the clarity, and also building the authority from this as well. So this is brand identity and positioning, understanding your positioning in the market, brand identity looks as overall. Then move on to your sales materials and visual communication. So your sales materials and visual communication is imperative in terms of, again, relaying that same value as your services as well. So let's say, for example, you have maybe a portfolio, you have a piece of work that you currently leverage in itself. How this is then tailored to the directed customer is going to be form that impression from the customer of whether they want to work with you or not. It needs to maintain the high quality design and aesthetics that your services or your product do as well. And the storytelling around that as well is going to be key. So is it simplified? Is it very clear? Is it speaking again to your brand identity and what your mission, your ethos is as well? And how does that align then to the person you're talking to as well? And then your value proposition. So how are you currently standing out in the market? How are you currently leveraging your value in a way that's then different in comparison to your competitors as well? So if we think about this from a customer route, what problem do they currently have? How is your portfolio the solution from that? And then how this then turns into a client decision, whether they want to work with you or not. Then we'll move on to digital presence. So do you have a digital presence in itself? What channels are you currently operating on? Is it just Instagram, TikTok? Is it maybe another form of social media, LinkedIn? This then is a real easy way to kind of leverage your expertise, but also your value too, in attracting the premium clients and then giving them the brand experience. Because you have to understand that let's say when you are approaching a new business that you want to work with, that whole experience of them going to your profile, going into your kind of ecosystem is what's going to form an opinion, it's what's going to form an impression. So let's say I've done a little diagram here of maybe like an Instagram profile. So in your bio, does it have the tailored messaging to the customer's needs? Like, are you speaking directly to the customer's needs, or are you just talking about us? And this is a key difference here. About us am I speaking to the customer's need? Because a lot of businesses will just put in their profile, this is who I am, this is what we're about, but the customer doesn't really care about that. They care about what their problem currently is and what they currently need. So how are you leveraging your tailored messaging to then lead to a conversation starter? The conversation starter needs to be, again, very tailored, and you can use this either in your bio to maybe a call to action, but also the graphics that you currently use as well. And the conversation really needs to be a conversation that they would love to have. So whoever you're trying to work with, what would be the conversation that they would love to have? So a lot of times, let's say if you're asking for a call, you're asking for, can we speak via email or whatever, they're never going to have that conversation with you unless it's valuable to them, because it's time cost. So if you think about it, everyone has a limited amount of time in the day, and why would I waste my time speaking to you if it's not going to be, if I know you're going to sell to me and it's not going to be around a conversation that I really want to have? But if you pitch the conversation in a way which is a conversation that they would love to have, they're more than happy to get on that call with you. And this is how you create that brand experience, which is really kind of unique and tailored to the business in itself. Now, the engagement as well. Is your currently your socials engaging? Is your digital presence engaging enough? Are you getting comments? Are you getting likes? Are you speaking then through the conversation, giving a call to action through your post as well? Because the more conversations that you can show on comments of you interacting with other businesses on your channels is not only going to improve that trust and that credibility from when other people are currently viewing and visitors looking at your profile, but it's going to increase and enhance that engagement and then reach as well. And then your brand identity. So how are you including the brand identity and positioning within your digital presence as well? So you can do this either via graphics, by photography, by interviews, however, what form of content that you are specifically using. Your brand identity needs to speak to that essence as well. So let's say your aesthetics as well. It needs to be an experience in terms of when a customer's coming to your profile, that's what emotion are they feeling? How is it provoking some sort of thoughts or opinions that they can form from your digital sphere as well. So let's say look at that route from visitor to engagement to a lead. Okay. And then finally, we've got strategic expansion and authority building. So this is how you can then look from point forwards in terms of you showing your credibility and you showing your expertise in other ways. So at first, create resources. Okay, so this is a bit like a lead magnet, but create resources that are premium, that are informative, and also speak to whatever problems your customer is facing as well. But this whole system here needs to be designed in a way in which it's speaking to, again, your brand identity, your positioning, and the high quality essence of what you're currently doing as well. Then results. How are you leveraging your results? Testimonials, and how does that look? Is it just via text, or do you have any more videos of your testimonials as well? The more informed, the more case studies you have, obviously, the more you can leverage your results as well. But do you have impact stats? Do you have the stats of showing what you have done for businesses in a way that's compelling? This is only going to leverage and build that trust even more. Partnerships. So partner, who are you strategically partnering yourself with? And this is going to go back again to your positioning. How are you building the partnerships and relationships with other businesses that are going to position you in a way of you being the go-to in your market as well? And then having repeatable systems. So repeatable systems is how you're going to constantly attract premium clients. Because if you don't have any systems in place in your businesses and you are just constantly reliant on referrals, there's going to be no leads coming in on a consistent basis. So having systems and sales systems in place, which then you're leveraging your digital presence, your sales materials, and your brand identity, is ultimately what's going to be the concerning factor in you getting more leads in, more quality leads in as well, and higher price points. And then finally, track and improve. Always be tracking your data, always be tracking your metrics. This is how it's going to inform your next decisions. And it's also going to be how to inform your next steps forward as well. So if you'd like this video, I would like you to comment your current challenges in the comments below, and I'll create another video tailored on that.